Hey Royal Family, it's Cash Me Out. I am Queen Supreme and I'm back at you again for another video in the Maleah Davis case. However, remains have been found in Hope, Arkansas. It was stated earlier that Quanell was told by Darian Vance that Maleah's body is in Arkansas, so EquiSearch and the detectives and everybody rushed out there. The chief out there did clarify that they found a black trash bag with child human remains in it that very well possibly could be Maleah's or another child. Now, this is sad because it could be any child at this point. However, I think it's important to state that there will be DNA testing done on the body before it is released that it is Maleah's remains. However, take a look at the updates in this case, this search that's going on for whoever's remains these are, but it is believed that it is Maleah's body. Let's take a look. Let's go.
All I can say to you is that he told me it was an accident, that she is dead, and where he dumped her body.
And where's that?
It's in Arkansas. Yes.
I certainly think it's credible. Makes sense with the timeline that he had, and I'm optimistic. I don't want to set myself up for disappointment. I want to be renting an airplane and doing all this if I didn't think it was credible. So process elimination, and we're going to go up there and eliminate it, and hopefully have some news that it's finally over with.
Tell me, a lot of people are like, why was Sharon? Tell about your relationship with this airport.
Well, I mean, they've treated us great here. We used it for a command center when we was actually searching this area, and I don't need to get that. And when I called around, there was one of them that also had a plane available. I had another plane available at 4:30, and I said, well, you know what, we want to get over there as soon as we can get there, so this is as quick as we can get there.
We've been seeing some of the live stream online. They're on the ground in Hope, Arkansas right now. Have you been watching any of that?
You know what? I don't do anything online. I haven't gotten into any of the social media stuff. I sit back, work with detectives, and I don't play those social media games.
Well, are you anxious right now going over there?
I am anxious. You know, we're hoping this is a final chapter of the story. I mean, it's 4 weeks and 1 day, and I think Quanell, again, I mean, I've done many things with Quanell over the years when it comes to cases like this, and I don't care what anybody says about him, and I don't agree with everything that he does, but he sure is a miracle worker in the past, and hopefully this time on cases like this.
Where exactly in Hope is it?
I can't say that, but I mean, he gave us pretty much an exact spot, and it was pretty convenient. So we're just hoping, you know, one of the words that we got, though, that I've certainly got some concerns, is talking with the investigators over there that they have had mowers and stuff, and people mow in the area that we think that he put her. So, and you know, I think we all know that when they're mowing beside the roads and things like that, I don't know how much stuff they actually pick up before they mow over it. So let's just hope that's not the case, you know. But you know, we don't know. I mean, it's a lead we have to follow.
But it argues that you think that you're going to find a little body there.
Well, you know what? I've been on these things, 38 states and 9 different countries, and you know, I've gotten at that point that I try not to set myself up for disappointments. You know, I'm certainly optimistic on this. So, you know, we're not going to know until we get there. I think it's going to be, according to the information we got, once we land and get out to the site, I think it'll be pretty quick. So, I don't know, you know, we'll...
Did Quanell call you directly this morning?
Quanell called me right when he left the jail, then I called the detectives, and then we met and got a game plan together. And I actually, right when Quanell called me, I called detective and I told detective, hey, I'm gonna start calling for airplanes, have something on standby in case we need to go. And so we met, we had the meeting, got a lot of details, and here we go.
And what was your reaction when Quanell made that phone call to you?
It didn't surprise me. I've been with Quanell before, it wasn't surprising.
So Tim, give us your itinerary for the day. So you're going to board the plane at about 3 o'clock. Then how long's the flight?
I think it's like an hour and 15-minute flight. Got a rent-a-car that's waiting, or jump in a rent-a-car and go to the site, and hopefully we can report some good news that she's located.
So basically you'll be on the ground from right after you land, following
We'll be on the
investigators
ground
and
quick.
detectives.
Right. We'll be on the ground quick.
Okay, and then do you know what the process is? Should they find a body or
Well,
remains?
if they find the remains, of course, it'll be turned over to the authorities in Arkansas, to the medical examiner there, and to determine cause of death. And then I'm sure that when the body's brought back to Houston, I anticipate there'll be another autopsy done here also. So, I mean, that's just my thoughts. But right now, the main object is finding her body, and let's hope we can have a little bit of success on this one.
Or the Maleah Davis case.
Yeah, as the investigation now shifts to another state, Arkansas. A tip from her stepfather leading investigators to Arkansas, where human remains of a child have been found in a trash bag on the side of the interstate. Larry Seward just arrived on scene in Fulton. Larry, what else can you tell us?
Yeah, behind me right now, you'll see Houston police detectives to the right of that pickup truck. Tim Miller from EquiSearch still here. They've been here for some time. If we can pan to the right, I'll show you here in Fulton. That is the Hempstead County Sheriff's Command Center. To its left, there are two tripods in the road, several feet off the road. That is where the bag containing a child's remains were recovered here. It is in the custody of the state police. It is going to be examined by the medical examiner here. I want to show you where this area is, because the exit ramp off of I-30 from Houston, straight ahead where you see those wrong way, do not enter signs. If this in fact is Maleah Davis's remains, it helps detectives fill in a 24-hour period of time about Darian's location that they've been baffled by since this case began 3 weeks ago. They know that on May 3rd, he was last seen with Maleah during the day, but they did not know where he went until 11:20 that following Saturday night when he showed up at Houston Methodist Hospital in Sugar Land. They say surveillance cameras caught him there being dropped off. If this is in fact Maleah's remains recovered here in Fulton, Arkansas, they now know that he would have come here during that period of time. The question remains how he got here, if someone else was involved, and who that person might be.
For you this afternoon.
Right now, we're waiting to learn if human remains found inside a trash bag belong to 4-year-old Maleah Davis, who has been missing from Houston. A report from our Houston partner says the suspect, Darian Vence, admitted to an activist in the community that he put Maleah's body in a trash bag and then drove it to Hope, Arkansas, where he says, allegedly, that he dumped it on the side of the interstate. Vence told that activist that Maleah's death was an accident. He is in jail tonight on tampering charges. Houston police, meanwhile, are now on their way to Arkansas to help with the investigation.
Good afternoon. I'm Lauren Freeman, in for Christine.
And I'm Keith Garvin. This all started on May 3rd when a 4-year-old girl was last seen in the area of East Tex Freeway and Greens Road. Today, the search expanded to the area of Hope, Arkansas, where community activist Quanell X says the ex-fiance of Maleah's mother confessed to leaving her body. And in the past hour, we learned from law enforcement there that remains were found during the search.
We have live team coverage on all these breaking developments. We begin with Mario Diaz, who has the latest now on this new discovery. Mario?
Yeah, Lauren, this investigation has had a lot of moving parts on this day, and it began here in downtown Houston after a meeting between Quanell X and the former fiance in this case. Then it shifted immediately more than 320 miles away from here to Hope, Arkansas, where in the last few hours, investigators up there did make a discovery of remains inside of a bag. Channel 2 investigates, confirming this with a senior member of law enforcement who indicated that yes, there has been remains found near a location in Hope, Arkansas, inside of a black bag. That last bit of information there pivotal because that is part of this investigation. Here was a questionable bag from the very beginning with the disappearance of Maleah Davis. Now, how did this all happen? It occurred this morning off of a tip, a meeting between Quanell X and Darren Vance here at the jail cell, and it was during that meeting where this information came to light. Investigators from here in Houston went directly up to Arkansas. Investigators there worked the scene as well. That discovery was made again in the last few hours, and officials there in the last few minutes held a news conference to discuss what they have found thus far.
And then we were notified by a interstate cleanup crew, road crew, that they may have possibly found a black garbage bag here emitting a foul odor. And that's why we're here at this particular time here at Exit 18 here in Fulton. State Police Company CCID unit is on scene. They're handling the evidence. And we have 2 agents from the FBI present, and we're hoping to make some kind of determination here in the next little bit.
And again, this news conference happened here in the last 45 minutes. And what's interesting to point out as well is that it happened during a time in which you had investigators from HPD and Texas EquiSearch heading up on a chartered flight to that area of Hope, Arkansas to assist in the investigation and now to assist into the determination as to exactly what remains are inside of the bag that has been discovered.
He said that he pulled over in Arkansas, got out of the car, walked off the side of the road, and dumped her body off the side of the road.
Did he say anything about Brittany? Did she know about this? Anything?
He didn't say anything like that to
Did
me.
he say what day she died?
I didn't go that far with it.
How were you able to get him to reveal this information?
2 men talking.
How were you able to get in during non-visitation hours?
Excuse me?
How were you able to get into the jail during non-visitation
People
hours?
visit all the time. And I was
Did
able to
he-
get in.
How long has she been in Arkansas?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about how long that she was there, but it was early on.
Did you ask him? All these people that searched, did all these searches, all these efforts that were made, and he knew where she was the entire time. Why suddenly now?
All I can tell you is he told me where the body is and told me where he dumped her.
So do you believe him? You believe him, or you think it's another crazy story?
No, I think it's the truth. I don't think he was lying to me. I think he was telling the truth. Many men have confessed these type of crimes to me and involving children. And Texas EquiSearch and I work together on similar situations like this. And the confession is always proven to be true.
Was it emotional? Did this have any truth to you?
I think it's true enough that I've got an airplane lined up at 3 o'clock to go ahead and fly detective and several of us up there to go ahead and start the search. Investigators have been talked to up there in Arkansas, and so I believe it's true myself with the timeline and stuff. I believe that we're looking at. We don't want to get into too much detail, but hopefully.
Where are you going?
Well, we're not going to say where we're going in Arkansas. We're not going to say that. So.
Do you think you need a large crew for this, or are you confident that he was specific enough?
I don't think that we need to. I don't believe we need a lot of searchers. So we're going to jump in an airplane 3 o'clock, fly to Arkansas, and see if we can get a report.
And what makes you think?
You know, I've worked with Quanell for several cases before. I flew into Oklahoma on a case. He worked the Sylvester cases. He worked many cases. You know, everybody may not agree with all his methods, but when it comes to this, I'm going to tell you something. He is He's brought closure to many families. He's gotten stuff out of perpetrators that nobody else has been able to get. And I have all the faith in the world in him. And I think that's kind of why we suspended our search early on until more information came in. We've still been doing little things, and I just said yesterday I'm optimistic that the right information is going to come in and will bring us to a close. And right now I'm pretty optimistic that that's going to happen.
How soon will you be updating the public or the media once you get out there and find the details you need?
I think it'll be updated when we find Maleah's body in Arkansas.
3 o'clock, you said?
Are you taking a private plane, or what are you
Taking a private plane.
You won't tell us what airport you're flying into or anything?
By space land in Rochester.
Flying out of there?
Where we had our command center the other day.
Oh, you're going to fly out of Rochester?
And you said it's a private flight, not a commercial flight?
Private flight.
Got it.
Where are you flying to?
Arkansas.
Parnell, I know.
I'm done. I'm done.
The main thing is pray for this family. A lot of different angles on this story. And we're not here to judge anybody, but we are here to make sure that that little angel receives some justice. And whoever's responsible, we're going to hold them accountable. We'll open up for questions.
How long do you expect it to be until the DNA confirmation process?
We're not sure that that's a county in another state. We're working together. Hopefully with this kind of case, we expedite that and get that information as quickly as we can so we can bring some closure to their family and start our quest for justice on whoever's responsible.
Did Cornell X visit Vince at jail on
I'm not going to go into that right now. Everybody knows him. He's been working with law enforcement for years. So I'm not going to go into details of that. I don't know how he got there or what was said when he was there. I know that he did give some information of the possible whereabouts of this little angel.
Do you anticipate more charges to be brought against Vince and also this bond to be
I'm not sure whoever's responsible for if that's Maleah. Yes, I anticipate murder charges, but who and when, I don't know right now.
What about the tip from Cornell this morning led you to believe that this could be in fact where her body is?
I'm not going to go into that right now just because of the investigation. As I said, don't want to jeopardize anything, and it's fluent. The investigators are on the ground, and I want everybody to understand that and respect that.
Chief Finner, you indicated the last portion of your statement there, you said whoever it is, we're going to hold them accountable. Them in this case, are there other suspects?
When I say them, it could be one person, it could be more than one. But Chief Acevedo says this all the time, no stone unturned. We want to find out if it's one person that's responsible for her death or if it's 4 or 5. And right now, we're doing an active investigation, and that's what we're going to do. With anybody that's responsible, we're going to hold them accountable.
Any idea who may have dropped Vince off at the hospital that weekend when this all started? Or where
I'm not sure, and I'm not going to go into that part. We're just here today just to discuss and the new developments of the case.
What's the chief said to you about this? You said you briefed him, and what is his thoughts on it?
Chief has been vocal from the very start. Chief with a lot of other leaders and some responsible. We know that he put up his own reward money, and that speaks to the person he is. This community, after over 2.5 years of him being here, you know he's extremely emotional, a good guy, and he's gonna speak what's on his mind. He's mad as hell. All of us are. Everybody. That's a little baby, and if it's not Maleah, that's somebody's child. And you know how I spoke out over the past several years about when you victimize anybody, but when you put your hands on these little precious angels in our community, we're coming after.
Mayor, question to you, sir.
Sure.
There were a lot of moving parts that we heard of today, and they moved very rapidly. Take us through what was going through your mindset on this with the reaction to, first off, there's the potential of there may be a body here in Arkansas, and then 4 or 5 hours later, when it was discovered there was a bag with the baby covered.
I think from all indications, there are the remains of a human being there in Arkansas. I think what remains to be determined is whether or not it's in fact Maleah, this 4-year-old. The reality is that you have a precious one that has been missing for almost a month now, and she has a family. She also has an extended family, and we have seen the outpouring of love and support for Maleah, for this entire family. And it just hasn't been restricted to this city, but across the country and even beyond. And all of these kids are our kids. You know, whether they're Maleah, whether they're Josue Flores, they're our children. And so, to see the smiles in my own mind's eye, I can see it to this very day. What I will say is that we are still asking for information from people in this city who may know something. Okay, now that we have another piece to this puzzle, somebody may have seen either the person that's in jail now traveling to, for example, to Arkansas, or somebody in Arkansas may have seen that person, or between here and there. So that information is vitally important. So if anybody still knows any information, has any information, whether it's a family member, someone that's connected to this family in any shape, form, or fashion, whether it's a friend, a neighbor, a stranger may have seen something, all of that information is still very much needed as a part of this ongoing investigation. But like you all, we want to know as quickly as possible whether or not this is in fact Maleah. I think that will certainly have to bring some degree of finality to this family, and quite frankly to the extended family of the city.
Chief, in Arkansas, 300, where this location in Arkansas, Chief, there's more than 320 miles away from where we're standing right now.
Yes.
Is there any type of identification that you have been able to, this drug investigation, here the last few hours, that connects him as to why it was in Arkansas?
No, absolutely not. And that's definitely part of the investigation, and we hope to determine that. Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me if Brittany Bowens or Maleah's biological father were given the opportunity to go to Arkansas today, or where they are right now?
I don't know that, and I just know that we have the investigators there, and that's the most important thing. If it is Maleah or somebody's kid, the last thing I want to do is take a parent to a scene that's going to be horrific. So, yeah.
Let's talk that Darian Vent's name has been brought up to Arkansas. What did that happen?
No, ma'am. Anybody else? Hey, I'm gonna go ahead.
What kind of support the FBI is providing in this investigation?
Just as it's across state lines, and they routinely assist. But here in our Houston region, we have total support from FBI and our other federal partners. So whenever something is going on, and from the very start, they put in their support, and that's how we handle things here in this region. And so grateful for our federal partners. Yeah.
You also mentioned that the investigation, something to the effect of the investigation from here is most important. Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by that?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
You mentioned something about the investigation from here being the most important from here on out. Can you specify what?
I think that the most, of course, we need to lend support and love to this family who's hurting, okay, or any family that loses a loved one, especially a kid. But what I'm saying, what anybody needs to know, or any kind of rumors, or any kind of, that's secondary to us maintaining the integrity of this investigation so that we can bring whoever's responsible to justice. That's what's most important. So, does that answer it? Thank you. Two more questions. I'm gonna get to you and I'll end with you.
Two questions. How long do you expect members of HPD to be working that scene?
As long as it takes. Yeah, and I don't put a timeline on it because I don't know the what's going on out there, but I trust our investigators. I told you our commander of homicide, he is out there himself on the ground, and we have a whole team. So as long as it takes, we need to get to the bottom of it and determine who's responsible. Yes, ma'am.
The last time that you spoke about this case, he said that
Who was uncooperative? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Oh, the father. Yeah, I'm not going into that right now. So, and because I don't know all the facts. This was developed really quickly today, and it's still developing. So we'll get to that. But the main thing is processing that scene out there, and then, of course, when we get additional information, we certainly share that when it's time.
And where's the chief today? Who's on today?
He's out of town. Yeah, but he's in church.
Last question.
Go ahead.
We heard that HPD had already been in Arkansas for a few days. Is that correct? And how did you...
That's not correct. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Hey, I want to end by this and thanking our media, great teams, and our great citizens, the leadership of our mayor and every citizen in Houston. Whenever we go through tragedy together, but we all come out loving each other and standing strong. And that's what we need to do. Throw your arms and throw your hands around that family. Don't judge anybody. Let the facts and evidence go where they go. And we're going to hold people accountable.
If I can just, I do want to thank the community and the attention that you all have continued to shine on this case, because I do think the coverage, the media attention, the community involvement continue to put the pressure on all of many of the key participants on this case to help bring, even to get us to this point itself. The fact that it did not, in a sense, go cold and the attention died down. I think the fact that the media and the community really kept their eyes and the attention focused on this case has led us to this particular result. So that has been very helpful. And then in addition, I certainly want to thank HPD and the investigators, the detectives, who have been laser focused on this case. So thank you all so very much, but especially let me give a huge thanks to so many people in our community and people even outside of our community for keeping the attention on Maleah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Chief, when can we expect another update? When can we expect another update?
We'll send it out because I don't know right now that they still. Yeah. Maybe tonight.
Now, I'm not really going to add much right now because I want to go look for updates on this story and see what's going on. And I want to get this video out to you very fast, as quick as I can. But I wanted to shout out Sylvester Turner, Houston's mayor, for what he said about people shining a light on the case, because although the one bald-headed guy wasn't really feeling that and everything like that, and I get it, sometimes it mucks up their case, but without that, honestly, the light wouldn't have been on for Maleah as much. If the public did not share their opinions and share, you know, the story and follow along and bring it to other people's attention, then this case, just like others, would be swept under the rug. That's just how it goes. But at this time, that's all I really have to say. I will continue to follow along with this case and bring you any updates in this case. Much love. Stay you, stay royal, stay uncompromisable, stay woke, and I will see you in another video. Much love.